Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlelamia back with another episode. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know, including an update on Matt Riddle's shocking allegations, big troubles ahead for AEW, is another Bloodline member headed to WWE, is Becky Lynch set for a championship win, big title change happening at AEW's Grand Slam, Gable Steveson's WWE future is uncertain, Finn Balor remembers Bray Wyatt, and more. WWE investigating Matt Riddle allegations. Time for an update on yesterday's story concerning Matt Riddle alleging he was physically violated during a search at New York's JFK airport. Riddle was allegedly approached by airport security after reports of a disturbance. According to a report from Ringside News' H. Jenkins, Riddle was highly intoxicated. Riddle took to social media to complain about being inappropriately touched, but later deleted the comments. Ringside News added that an officer encouraged Riddle to file a formal complaint, but he refused to do so. Nonetheless, the airport is now investigating the claim, and they're not alone. Ringside News is reporting that the WWE is now looking into the matter. Riddle's JFK airport story got to WWE. Ringside News reached out to our sources in WWE to inquire about the Matt Riddle situation. We're told the WWE is currently investigating the matter. Big troubles looming for AEW? CM Punk is gone from AEW, but the promotion's problems may just be getting started. First, Collision pulled the worst ratings in the show's history, and some fans and industry insiders are uncertain whether the program can survive now that college football is back and other Saturday night sports are on the way back. Indeed, NoDQ.com recently commented on X that, right now AEW is in the middle of a full-blown crisis and it's not looking like there is an end in sight. CM Punk has been fired and is probably ready to go nuclear on the company in multiple ways. While Punk has remained silent, it's unknown whether he intends to pursue any legal action following his release. Unfortunately, there's little information on how AEW handled his termination, such as whether they threw some serious cash his way in exchange for a non-compete and/or non-disclosure agreement. Wrestlelamia will continue following AEW's current situation. New Bloodline member headed to WWE? Is Zilla Fatu, the son of the late great WWE superstar Umaga, headed to the WWE? While that question remains unanswered, it appears he's now available to work wherever he's wanted. Zilla, who was training in Booker T's Reality of Wrestling School and promotion, appeared at the promotion's 15th July Summer of Champions event. However, Booker T recently revealed that Zilla is no longer with the company. I've been getting a lot of calls, people have been hitting us up asking us about Zilla Fatu and when they were going to see him again. Honestly, I can't tell you when you're going to see Zilla Fatu again because he's no longer a part of Reality of Wrestling due to irreconcilable differences. Let's just put it that way. I'm sure he's taking bookings out there on the internet, and we wish Zilla Fatu well in his future. According to WrestleZone's Colin Tessier, Zilla is taking bookings. The WWE is likely interested in taking a look at Fatu, even if it means training him in NXT. Do you think Zilla will come to WWE? Let us know in the comments below. Will Becky Lynch capture the NXT Women's Championship? Could Becky Lynch capture the one singles title belt that's eluded her during her WWE career? With Becky challenging NXT Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton on 12th September, some fans believe Becky will capture the title. Dave Meltzer seems to think so too, and recently remarked, "I wouldn't be too surprised to see a title change. They're pushing that she's never won the title, and I don't see the way WWE works that Tiffany Stratton is beating her. Basically, your chances are Becky wins the title or cheap DQ." Wrestlelamia believes there are other ways for things to play out between Becky and Tiffany besides an immediate win or a cheap DQ, as Dave describes things. The two superstars' first match could be an effective springboard for a feud that sees Lynch come up short in their initial match and build to one of NXT's TV specials, or more likely, a PLE. The WWE could even tie into what looks like an inevitable program between her and Rhea Ripley, with Ripley or Dominic Mysterio interfering. There's more money in the chase than in a quick win. Big title change happening at AEW Grand Slam? Is AEW getting ready for a title change at its upcoming Grand Slam special editions of Dynamite and Rampage? Dave Meltzer weighed in on this during an episode of Wrestling Observer Radio. Eddie should win. I mean, that's my presumption. I always thought that Eddie Kingston should win the AEW title at Grand Slam one year, and he's gonna win the ROH title maybe. Kingston will put up his New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Championship against the Swiss Superman's Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, I just thought Grand Slam with Eddie Kingston's parents there, it's time for Claudio to lose, because Claudio pinning him in that previous match out of nowhere in Chicago in the tag team match didn't make any sense. But if Eddie's going to win the title, in hindsight that makes sense. If Eddie loses, then none of that makes sense. Gable Steveson's WWE future uncertain. What is the future of Olympic wrestling gold medalist Gable Steveson in WWE? Steveson, who was signed with high hopes by management given his credential as a two-time wrestling national champion and gold medalist, seems to have fallen out of favor. Wrestlelamia noted last week that Steveson is no longer listed on the NXT roster and that he is no longer competing in the World Championships in amateur wrestling. Now, new information is emerging on Steveson's situation in WWE courtesy of Dave Meltzer, who commented on the situation in a recent Wrestling Observer Radio. He worked 2 shows this weekend after pulling out of the World Championships. You know, it's weird because originally they had him pegged as the next Brock Lesnar. Obviously, that has to be reevaluated. It would seem that since Gable is no longer competing in the upcoming Amateur Wrestling Championships, that he's being positioned for a run on NXT. Indeed, that's where things looked to be going when Steveson worked his first match. However, Gable's match against Baron Corbin was not well received by fans, leading to speculation the WWE might have to rethink how he is being pushed. Meltzer mused on Steveson's situation. I don't know if he's going to be back on TV soon. I know a week ago they had no plans for him. A lot depends on, his situation will depend on Vince. Until Vince comes back, I don't know if we're going to know a lot that's going to happen with him because his situation is going to be a Vince decision, and if Vince isn't back, then Triple H is in charge, but it's the big picture. He's got an uphill climb right now. Diamond Dave noted that Steveson worked 2 matches at live events last weekend, which could be interpreted as a sign the company is still hoping to salvage the situation. Steveson wouldn't be the first Olympic medalist who is signed with great expectations, only for the WWE to experience buyer's remorse. Recall World's Strongest Man Mark Henry was signed to a mega money 10-year deal, only for the WWF to spend significant time training him before they were happy with his work. What do you think is next for Steveson? Finn Balor remembers Bray Wyatt. Last but not least, the wrestling community recently celebrated Bray Wyatt's life at a memorial service, and while many fans and wrestlers are still coming to terms with Bray's sudden passing, Finn Balor has some thoughts on his time working with Wyatt as well as a match he'd hoped for that never happened. Balor appeared on Cheap Heat with Pete Rosenberg, revealing, "Obviously I had the opportunity to work with him as Finn versus Bray, or the Demon versus Bray, as Finn versus The Fiend. The one thing that I'm sad that we never got to do was this Fiend versus Demon match, and that was something that we talked about at length. We were kind of hoping that was going to happen eventually, but, it's not to be." Finn also discussed the show must go on mentality with wrestling. "Going back to the show must go on, if something was to happen to me, I want you guys to know that I want the show to go on, and I'm sure knowing Bray as well as I do, he definitely wanted the show to go on, and then that's what I think we've done for him." What do you think of Finn's thoughts? Well guys, there you have it, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Leave your comments below, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.